All right, so as we're coming up on time and we're getting people joining in, I just would love to ask a few questions, if y'all don't mind. This is also a good segue into just declaring, a few housekeeping items for this call. Now, this session is a practical session. Please disregard the PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint presentation is only an introduction to the tool that we're going to be using for the hands-on session. So it's completely hands-on. But the cool thing about this hands-on session is that it introduces with University of Miami being part of the Microsoft Frontier program, it introduces a tool within the Copilot chat application, the Copilot chat app or the Copilot chat interface, that would actually further enhance your work as project managers. Even if you're not directly project managers or portfolio managers or program managers, it's a wonderful tool that you could actually use or leverage to enhance how you manage projects or work in project teams. So my question is, from an exploratory perspective, again, this is a fully interactive session, so please feel free to come off mute, ask any question, raise your hand if you want to speak, or drop your question or your statements in the chat. Now, from an exploratory perspective, who here is actively using Copilot chat? I'll start with a very simple, basic question. Just give me a thumbs up if you're actively using Copilot chat. Awesome, awesome. Nice. Okay, let's move to the next question real quick. How well are you exploring Copilot chat? And here's what I mean. How many of you have gone through a lot of the Microsoft published agents that we have in Copilot chat? If you've gone through any of the agents that we've published, the Microsoft published agents. Nice. Okay. Now, here's the final question. Who here has seen the Planner agent? If you've seen it, give me a thumbs up. Planner agent, good. That's what we're going to be working with today. So this introduction is just going to be a deep dive into that agent, and then we're going to see how we're able to use that and then combine all of the features and strengths of Microsoft 365 Copilot across all of our enterprise apps. This engagement today assumes that, number one, you are licensed for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Number two, because you are licensed, you will have Copilot already available in Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams. Now, we're going to just kick off with exploring the Planner agent that's part of the Frontier program, and then we'll see how to combine efforts back to Excel, back to Word, back to PowerPoint, Outlook, and even Teams. So this is really just going to combine all the good things that we've been working on. Now, here's how this is going to go. I assume you have your laptops turned on. Of course, that's how you joined this meeting. If you joined from a phone, you might just want to reach for your laptop. Then this is also a follow along session. So I would appreciate it if you have the Copilot chat open. If you have multiple screens, that's also fantastic. And then we'll just be walking through each of those areas as we dive right in. All right. Juan, I assume your hand is still raised. I assume it's from the thumbs up exercises. I didn't mean to call you out, but yeah, so we're ready to dive in. Like I said, feel free to come off mute if you have an answer to a question or if you have a question. If you have any thoughts, also feel free to raise your hand. I will call you and then you can ask your question or offer your thoughts and suggestions.
But I do have one. Now that you tell us, Charles, by agents, you mean if we change from the Copilot to the cloud possibility or the ChatGPT possibility, or what do you mean by agents?
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Juan, you've actually just ushered us officially into the presentation, and that's actually where I am kicking this off with the presentation. So the presentation has the definitions to agents to help us understand what agents are for starters, right? So definitely worth waiting for. That's a fantastic question, and I appreciate you for asking that. And then, of course, I'll be monitoring the chats as well for any questions that you throw into the chat, and then I can answer those questions as well. So thanks again to Juan. I think we can actually officially kick this off. So let's start. The agenda for today really is going to, talk about Copilot and agents, help us understand what agents are from a general perspective. And then after we've fully understood agents, we'll now dive into the project manager agent. What is the project manager agent? What is it called in Copilot chat? How do you find it, right? And then we'll just touch on a few what's coming next. Now, the rest of the PowerPoint presentations we're not going to touch because they really delve into advanced project management. But the cool thing is we always make these slide decks available and we only have 1 hour. So what I would like to do is to cover the overview sections that talks about the project management agent or the project manager agent. And then I can provide the slide deck to Inti, who would then post it on the AI SharePoint site for University of Miami, so that it gives us enough time to then do a practical deep dive. Now, speaking of the practical deep dive, there are a number of ways we can do this. Now, I can do that demo and then have you follow along, but I also like to turn it around and make it more interesting. I can provide you the prompts, and then I can have a volunteer in the crowd share their own screen because it's University of Miami, so you'd probably have more data than I would. As a matter of fact, I don't have any live data I could use. So if we have a volunteer between now and when we're ready to do the deep dive, I would welcome that as well. And then I'll just provide you the prompts and then walk you through so that everybody else also follows along. So that's going to be a good way to hear that. Yeah, Carmen just raised the concern. Thank you so much, Carmen. Is everybody hearing me clearly without an echo?
I don't hear an echo, but every now and then you kind of fade back and then come in.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. I will do well to scream more into the microphone for Carmen's sake. For Carmen's sake. Okay. All right. So that's really our scope. So let's get started. Now, the idea behind agents is to ensure that we can, more drive or propel AI-driven work, and that's where agents come in. Now, we all understand what Copilot is. Copilot is Microsoft's own UI for AI, right? Within Copilot, you can interact with any of the models that are available. Now, for licensed users such as yourself, you would have the luxury of using either the GPT models or the Claude models. Or you could just start Copilot Chat in automatic mode. So you have that in auto, and then you enter your prompt into Copilot Chat, and then it uses that automatic mode to determine which agent will perform that operation for you based on the content of your prompt. However, agents are a way for us to automate a number of rudimentary tasks, a number of repeatable tasks. You can create an agent that connects to a knowledge source so that that agent, an example, for instance, is, let's say we want to create a policy agent for University of Miami. This policy agent is intended to provide end users, all University of Miami users, faculty, staff, students, with PTO policies, insurance policy information, any policy that can actually help any University of Miami faculty or staff have the latest information about all of these policies. So we go into Copilot Studio or even the agent builder in Copilot Chat, build out this agent, and then connect this agent to a SharePoint site that has all of the information about policies. Then when we've published this agent and share this agent, users can now interact with the agent the same way they are interacting with Copilot Chat. And that's what really an agent is. Now, the word agent is popular in the generative AI world. It's a popular terminology. So, but they're called agents because they're built to automate repeatable tasks. They're built to automate manual tasks that you'd have to just do by yourself. You build an agent that can help you do that, as simply as possible. That's what really an agent is. So let me pause here. And then Juan, if you don't mind my asking you as a follow-up, and then for everybody else, does this define what agent is adequately?
I would say those, but probably we could get deeper into it. But yeah, it's a support to create whatever workflow you need to create
Correct.
with the Copilot suite.
Correct. Absolutely. Let's actually borrow your terms. You can use agents to, automate workflows. Use it to create a workflow for you, and you're of course doing that through the Copilot suite. Of course, Copilot Studio. All right. Do we have everyone else carried along? Do we have any follow-up questions? I'm pausing for questions. I'm not pausing for effects, I promise. I also have the chat open. Okay. Awesome. All right. So yeah, so this is just general survey level information. And the truth of the matter is, oh yeah, good. So Margie's question. So Margie says, is an agent equal to a worker? Boom, yes. An agent is equal to a worker. So that agent is, you know how you have a worker, right? So you sit with your worker and then you give your worker certain instructions. Here's an example. The worker in question could be a graduate assistant that works with you and would just help you with some administrative tasks. So you tell this graduate assistant, and then you say, we have that community event in 2 weeks, and we've been working on this for over 3 months now. Please create an agenda and draft an overview of all of the activities for this community project. Now, for the agenda, I want you to create 9 bullet items of all of the things we're going to cover. Let me have this agenda by the end of today. You have given this graduate assistant all of these instructions. So the graduate assistant goes, digs through all of the documents, all of the emails, all of the Teams meetings regarding the community project. And then based on that, create an agenda for the meeting that's going to happen in 2 weeks, and also create an overview document of that community project. So if you take that same instruction and then you type it into Copilot Chat as a prompt, Copilot is doing exactly the same thing that this graduate assistant would have done. Now, the same way, you can create an agent that will automate this. So that agent, you will now connect your project, the community project information. It can be the community project SharePoint site, any files that you've created regarding that community project. And the agent itself now has all of this information as a direct knowledge source. So yes, Margie, how does that sound? Does it answer your question? Awesome. Fantastic. All right, so let's just talk about Frontier. And this is the only slide that talks about Frontier, I promise you. Now, Frontier is our own way of helping organizations transform and pivot over to the AI wave as quickly as possible, especially as far as Copilot is concerned. So we're creating agents and then building solutions within Copilot that can help organizations tap into a lot of the advancements that we're working on the Copilot front. Part of the Frontier program is the Create Hub. We've built in the Create Hub, and through the Create Hub, you can create videos, you can create images, you can create PowerPoint, Word, Excel files, you can even create brand kits, for University of Miami, for different departments and divisions within University of Miami. That's an example of one of those benefits of the Frontier program. All right. I'm just trying to move us along quickly so that way we can get started. All right, so I can quickly skip over these slides, but let's talk about some of the pain points of using generative AI, especially Copilot, to manage projects. The truth is, managing projects can be both challenging and costly in terms of man hours, but here's how agents can be of help. Oh yeah, thank you so much for that, Brian. Agents can help cut costs significantly by reducing the need to hire additional project managers outside of the people already within your team. Now, and this is really according to Deloitte, so we're not manufacturing these numbers. Using AI in project management can lead to an average cost savings of 20%. Again, this is quoting Deloitte directly. So these agents can save anywhere between 15 to, wait for the 30 hours total when kicking off a project, allowing teams to start working on their goals more quickly. So think of all of those benefits that if you were now using AI, you're using Copilot to drive the creation and management of projects as quickly as possible. And that's where the project manager agent comes in. Now, as of creating this presentation, the project manager agent is just called the planner agent. So if you open Copilot and then go over to all agents, expand the Microsoft created agents, you should see the planner agent. Here's a quick video, but the link is going to be available in the slide deck, but I can provide this link here, and then this is just going to be something that you can play as well. Let me just drop that. Now, thanks to the project manager agent, anyone can be a great project manager. And that's the beauty of agents, especially the planner agents. So this is something, again, that we announced recently. And thanks to the planner agent, you can now streamline processes of reporting much more quickly. You can ensure that all stakeholders are kept in the loop at all times. You can share project status more effortlessly. You can track progress and collaborate live and in real time with these agents or using these agents. So the Microsoft Planner agent, again, is available for you to use. And this agent combines 3 different tools. The first one is the yes, Juan?
Somehow it tells me that I need a Microsoft 365 Copilot license when I try to open Planner.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Inti, I think there's a, Inti, do you want us to drop the opt-in code or opt-in QR code for
yeah, but let me put it in the chat right now for you, Charles.
yes, for currently unlicensed use. So
yep.
So let me repeat one of those prerequisites I mentioned at the start of this call. To benefit from the Frontier program and to use the planner agent especially, you will need to already have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license. So let me now take some time to reconfirm. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see the planner agent? for those who are in Copilot chat. So let's all go to the Copilot chat. Okay, so yes, so Barbara, thank you so much. Juan, so we have Barbara and Juan that I know so far. Carmen, yeah, okay, I assume Carmen is giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, Carmen. Okay, then Chin Chin as well. Chin Chin also needs the. So Brian, if you look in the chat, Brian has posted the link to the opt-in. So it's a very simple. Just follow that link. Now Margie says I looked it up via agents. Now, did you find it, Margie? Oh, nice, good. Because I was just about to share my screen and then show you again where it is. But I will be doing that. Oh yeah, you typed planner in the search field. Nice. Thank you so much, Stella Marina. Awesome. Okay, good. So the planner agent combines 3 tools that you already have as part of your Microsoft 365 A5 license. The Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Planner, as well as Microsoft Project for the web. Now, individually, you all know individually, especially if you've been using these tools, you can already use these tools individually to manage tasks. That's going to be To Do. And then plan your project. So your Kanban boards, right? All of those, your task cards, you can do those in Planner. And then Microsoft Project for the web can already help you perform, basic to intermediate project planning, your Gantt charts, your project plan, your projects, your project schedules, all of those you can already do using any of these individual tools. The beautiful thing about the agent, back to our initial definition, is that the agent now combines these 3 key areas as skills. So the agent can perform task management, can help you set up Kanban boards, and can also help you set up a project schedule, as well as a Gantt chart. And we're going to try and see that in action. Okay, so the planner is just going to be the home of the project manager. So if you hear us say the project manager agent, we are simply referring to the planner agent. This agent, again, is simple. It will help you manage all of your work, all of your project management work and tasks in a single place. It is also flexible. It works exactly just the way you want it to. It is scalable, meaning you can plan all of your projects regardless of size using this agent. But then it's AI, right? So it is super intelligent. It will help you accelerate outcomes leveraging AI. Okay, so we are ready to dive in. Now, navigating, this is just an interface showing what the planner agent looks like. Really, showcasing a lot of the things that I've talked about, and we're going to see that in action. All right. Now, what I would love to do is I have all of my prompts as a list. So let me switch over while I'm also pausing for any questions. I'll switch over and then share my screen, and then we can do a quick show and tell. Okay. So I'm using this opportunity to also pause for questions. All right. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Charles, you have
Thumbs
one
up,
question
everyone?
in the chat.
Yes. I actually had the chat pulled up as well. Let me just drag that here so I can
No worries.
see. Yeah.
Difference between Planner Frontier and Planner Premium.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So good question. The difference between the Frontier program of Planner is you have your, as the name Planner implies. The Planner Frontier is a Copilot agent. So the Planner Frontier will leverage all of the premium features of Planner, but from the perspective of a Copilot agent. So it is an agent that's built into Copilot that combines Microsoft To Do, Planner, as well as Project for the web. That's Planner Frontier. So Planner Frontier is an agent. Planner Premium is a license entitlement for Planner as an application. So Planner is only a feature of your Microsoft 365 license. So it is not Copilot, it's just Planner. Think of Planner as the same as Microsoft Word. So you have Microsoft Word because you have A5. You also have Planner Premium because you have A5. So Planner Premium is an application feature that's part of your Microsoft 365 A5 license. Planner Frontier is a Copilot agent. That's a good question, Stella Marina. Do you feel like your answer, your question was answered? Or your answer was questioned? Can I get a thumbs up, or if you need me to expand on that more? Oh, okay. Yeah, but also happy to help you understand that if you have any additional follow-ups. Okay, good. So this is my Copilot chat interface, and I'm using this from the web, just on purpose to show you that it can work from anywhere. This is my demo environment. Now I don't have any data, so what I would love for you to do is to open Copilot and then just follow along with me. I will drop my chat into, or I'll drop my prompt into the chat, so you can take those and then drop them into your own Copilot agent so that you can see the results. Now, if you go to all agents and then just go to or scroll down to where you have built by Microsoft, and then you should see the Planner Frontier, which is this. If you haven't added it, when you click, it will tell you to add. But because I have added this, I'll just simply click open, and it will open the Planner Frontier agent. So again, this is Planner Frontier agent. It's Planner, but for Copilot. All right, so let's start with the first prompt. So let me take this, and this is an example, right? Feel free to use this prompt. So I'll title this as prompt 1, and then I'll paste in the prompt. My prompt is, and again, feel free to change this as you would like. I'm happy to explain, how to make a good prompt, but let's just follow along. So I've posted the first prompt into the chat, and my prompt is, I am kicking off a 12-week agile project to modernize the UMiami student portal. Generate a project charter outline, a list of 6 epics, a recommended 2-week sprint cadence, and top 5 risks I should track. So let me take that same prompt and then post it in my demo tenant. But because it's my own demo tenant, I need to just expand University of Miami student portal. So if you're looking at my screen, I have posted in my prompt. Let me just go ahead and send this. Now, for those who have, while mine is generating, for those who have tried this, are you seeing any results? Yes. Okay, I see one thumbs up. Viveka? Awesome.
Yep.
If you're able to see, oh, thank you, Margie. If you're able to see useful results, feel free to also speak and make a comment. Let's know what this looks like. So obviously it has started generating results, and I'm just scrolling through my results. I asked it for the charter outline, and this is the outline of the charter with the scope, assumptions, and then 6 recommended epics. It has also started showing us those epics, and then a 2-week sprint cadence for 12 weeks in total. So each sprint is going to be gapped, by 2 weeks. So, repeated every 2 weeks. And it has planned that out. And then the final one is the top 5 risks to track. Along with, now you notice here, this is where the intelligence of this being a co-pilot. Let's go back to Stella Marina's question. So Stella Marina, I beg your pardon. If you were using Planner Premium to plan your project, right? And you're manually, it means that you will be manually tracking any risks. That's number one. Number two, you will also manually decide on the mitigations to those risks. That's one of those major differences. So those things are just things that you'd have to come up with on your own manually. Yeah, Margie, I see your hand. But because we're doing this using the Planner Frontier, this then is an agent. So I merely said, give me top 5 risks I should track. But because it is intelligent, it is also giving me mitigations and early warning indicators automatically without my having to do it manually. So these are the risks. And for every risk, there is a mitigation. So you're seeing the risk, the impact of that risk, the mitigation, as well as any early indicators. This is one of those differences between the Planner Premium by itself and Planner Frontier, which is a co-pilot agent. Margie, your question.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I wanted to know, how intelligent is this agent? When I say intelligent, let's say that you are working on this, you have emails from different people in regard to this topic. You have, let's say, in OneDrive or in Box, you have files. So is it scoping all of that when it's making this plan for you? Is it taking that, or does that have to be fed into it? Thank you.
Margie, as you were asking your question, I was looking for around for a bell. I just wanted to give you a ding, 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 ding. The answer is a big fat yes. Because it is, again, this is a co-pilot agent. This is also another major difference between Planner Frontier as a co-pilot agent versus Planner. If you were using Planner Premium, you would have to manually go and start looking for files where you have them, whether they're in SharePoint sites or whether they're in OneDrive or whether they are email conversations or Teams meetings, right? This, being a co-pilot agent, will automatically pull relevant information from your tenant for your work. If you belong to any project group that is on SharePoint or Teams meetings, any emails, this will also automatically pull it. If you also want to be sure that it pulls it, you can simply expand your prompt. So let me give you an expanded prompt. Let me paste the same prompt, and then let me add, please search all email and Teams conversations about this project. So I have posted the same prompt, but now expanded with an additional instruction. This, then, by default, it will do it. But if you want to be sure that it does it, then just simply add it as an instruction. And yes, it will automatically pull all, not just any. It will pull all relevant information from your Microsoft 365 life. And by life, I mean email conversations, all those Teams meetings, transcribed meetings and such. Margie, how are we feeling? Does that answer your question?
One other question,
Yes,
is that
please.
based on the life of when Microsoft Teams Copilot was introduced, or is that based on the life of us as an employee at the university and our existing emails?
I love this question. So it's both, but there's a reason why, and I'll explain that. Now, IT has the ability to configure what we call retention policies. A retention policy is how long information should be retained within your Microsoft 365 life. So if data, emails, files, SharePoint sites have been set up to expire after 7 years, then that means any information beyond 7 years is not captured. Okay, so that's one thing to note. So the answer is yes, it will pull all available information for the entire life of a user, provided that that information is still available. So if this is a project you've been planning for 12 years and you do not have a retention policy that deletes old data, it will absolutely pull that information as far back as 12 years that it can go. The only limiting factor is if there was a retention policy that was put in place. Copilot is a very obedient child, so it absolutely bows to any data governance, security, and compliance control that has been implemented in the environment. That's how safe and secure Copilot is. Margie?
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Awesome question again, Margie. I really appreciate that. For everyone else, how are we feeling at this point? Because I'm about to move to prompt 2.
How important is to change the language to one of the different AI tools that we have there? Is it important in this moment to add it to the agent? I mean, should we change to ChatGPT or to Cloud or to any of those that we can?
Oh, nice. Good one. Good one, Juan. Good one. So not necessarily. The planner agent has already been built to automatically choose the best agent that works for it. Now, because this is an agent that plugs into your environment, it reads all of the relevant data. So it connects through what we call Microsoft Graph. Microsoft Graph is the brain of your Microsoft 365 subscription. So it connects all of the points, all of the data points within Microsoft 365. So it knows when you had a meeting, it knows when you have a meeting, it knows whatever emails you've sent or whatever emails you've been copied in or emails that you've received. So it knows all of these things. So Copilot connects to Microsoft Graph that then pulls the relevant information. So, and it already has the 3 major skills: to do for tasks, planner for task boards, Kanban boards, and then project for the web for project management. So it will leverage the connection to Microsoft Graph for your enterprise data, and then it will leverage those 3 combined skills to perform project management for you. So you do not need to worry about changing the large language model. It does that automatically. I'm getting fantastic questions. I'm really getting, and I love I love the questions that are coming in. So let's take the second prompt. So I'm going to say generate so here is for our portal, okay? And score each using this. So I've posted the next prompt. So my next prompt is generate 8 candidate features for our portal, the UMiami portal. That's the project we're working on, right? And then, do score each using the RICE framework with a 1 to 10 scale per dimension. Output as a markdown table sorted by RICE score, and call out top 3 with rationale. So let me take that same prompt and paste it here. Again, hopefully you're following with your own live data, and hopefully you're also seeing the impact with results. So this is what it typically would look like. This is 8 candidate features, with each one its RICE scoring table. Of course, you're seeing mobile first responsive, yes, so that a student can actually use this on a mobile device or a tablet or a desktop or laptop. Next is going to be unified dashboard with personalized top tasks, followed by accessibility, because of course we need the site to be useful by anyone, regardless of their level of difficulty or competency. We also want single sign-on for security. So a user can sign in using their University of Miami credential without needing to create a separate account. Then it also needs in-portal notification so that within the portal, as the user is working, they can just receive their notifications immediately, and then they can stay abreast of any relevant information. And then, of course, there's going to be a guided, registration ready checklist. So if a student wants to register, there's a guide that just walks them through each step. Then there's going to be the self-service support contextual help if they need any help and things like that. Now, again, this is just an example of this project and what the planner is really doing. Now, imagine if you actually take this same prompt or generate a different type of prompt, and then you're using the planner agent to perform those tasks that you would normally do for managing your project. I'm seeing a chart in a different launch and learn. I wonder if it's the same one, just so I'm not missing anything.
I addressed the concern,
okay.
Charles.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. All right. I am pausing for questions while we prepare for the next prompt. Now, one pattern you've noticed so far is we are just prompting. We're just prompting. Now, let's take this back. Again, Stella Marina, I also actually have to use this opportunity to thank you for that thought-provoking question that helps us draw difference between using this agent versus using Planner Premium. Okay, so with this agent, you're just entering instructions. That's all you're doing. In Planner, and I've used Planner quite extensively, not as a project manager, obviously. And I can tell a lot of these things you would have to do so very manually. So the pattern you're noticing here is we're just entering prompts and the agent is just building these out, and we could just take them, copy them, post them, paste them where we need to paste them. If it's a Word draft, yeah, it's already content ready for us. So here is the next prompt. And this prompt is draft a 2-page project charter for student portal modernization using my prompt above. Include sections for objectives, scope in and out, what's in scope, what's out of scope, stakeholders, success metrics, timeline, and risks. Use professional tone suitable for an EPMO steering committee. So let's paste that prompt in here. And let's send it. So the prompt is in the chat. And here is the result. Again, you're seeing it's not wasting any time. It fully understands what you want. And I said, hey, my prompt above. So it already knows I am referring to the University of Miami Student Portal project. I don't have to repeat myself. It fully understands the context of this activity. Okay, so let me scroll to show what it has done. So it has generated the executive summary, then the objectives. Now, what's in scope? It's determining what's in scope. And you can see how detailed it is. It has also showed us what's out of scope, any assumptions and constraints. Meanwhile, again, part of that intelligence, I only mentioned, tell me any assumptions. Then for stakeholders and governance, it has listed all of the key stakeholders as well as their roles. So it's not just listing the key stakeholders, it's also defining what role they're playing. And then for decision framework, it's showing the weekly steering committee touch point, the sprint review, which is going to be happening every 2 weeks, and then change control, which is really just going to be how you manage change management for or manage change for this project. And then for your success, your success metrics, it's also detailing all of the key performance indicators. One is going to be the student experience. Second is going to be performance and reliability, accessibility and compliance, operational readiness, delivery predictability, and all of the, including risks, as well as approvals. All right, I am pausing for questions because we're now ready to, take this a step further. Okay, now can I get a thumbs up if we are following along just fine? I love these thumbs ups. I love these thumbs. Okay, Amy, I thought that was a question, but okay, good. So let me ask another question. Is anybody having any sort of difficulty following along? Any challenges? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Happy to hear that we're following along. Nice. Happy to hear that. Okay, so let's take this a step further, right? Now, what I want to do here is, let me post this here. The next prompt is, I want it to open a sample backlog with task, owner, priority, status, due date, efforts. So the prompt I really want to do is just have these combinations of prompts. So that's what that prompt looks like. So I've posted that in the chat. I want to make sure that we're making very good use of time. All right, so I'm also pasting this here as well. And let me go ahead and send it. And that is a sample backlog. Now, for me, it's just generating sample names, right? So these are not real names because I'm using a demo environment. Now, for you, I assume you're actually, and I would have loved, and I would have loved if this is what you're really doing, that you are actually prompting this and you're following this exercise using a real world project within U Miami. Because it would be so nice to see how intelligent or truly intelligent this agent is. All right, now, if you're not doing this right now, that's fine. But I would love for you to just go back into the planner agent at your own time and then try this out for an actual real life project. So you're seeing here that in my own case, it's just assuming names. I haven't done this before. If you look at my history, I haven't done this before. So it's in real time just giving me sample names as owners. These are not live people. These are just, sample data. And then so it has, generated this sample backlog, which is this, and then has given me the task status. So the task name, the owner of that task, the priority of the task, and then the status of this task. Now, if this is a live project that you're working on, it would also do the same thing, especially if you have an Excel file that you've been using to track the same project, it will go and pull it. If you have a loop document or a loop component, it would also pull it up as long as it's related to the same project. That's how extensively intelligent this agent is. Oh yeah, and we built it just for you. And then, yeah, so highlight, tasks owned by whoever that are at risk and overdue. So here, because I don't have any real person, it's just asking me to name that person. And what you're now seeing that it's doing here is within the chart, it is giving me live analytics. So it has given me a summary of status, summary by status, using percentages. So on track tasks, there are 8 of them, and this is the percentage. There are 4 tasks that are at risk. There are no blocked tasks, and then there are no completed tasks. And as a result of that, it has generated a simple Gantt chart of sorts. We have 5 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can sneak in a few additional prompts. This is the part where I did say we're taking this a step further. Now, you might all be already familiar with loop because, loop is that component that we created, several years back that you could use for very simple task assignment. So let's see how we can use this same agent to leverage loop. So my next prompt is create a loop task list for sprint 3 backlog of the student portal modernization project. Include 8 tasks across user experience, UX, dev, as well as quality assurance, QA, with owners and due dates spread over 2 weeks. Let's see how it does. So I've pasted that prompt, and let's see how it performs. Okay, so in my own case, of course, it's responding with, it can't really, because I've not connected this to loop, but you're already seeing that it has provided me the outline of something I can use to create a loop task. And this is the actual table. So if I take this and I can easily just paste it into loop. Now, for you, it should be able to do that. Now, this is something we can easily quickly try and then confirm if it's actually creating a loop component for you. Has anyone tried this loop prompt? I want to hear about results. Anyone? All right, I assume that's still in progress. But yeah, so far, so good. This, everyone, is the project manager agent that we now so-call Planner Frontier. Now, hopefully we've been able to see how this is a lot different and a lot more intuitive and easier to use, especially from a conversational standpoint, than a specific application like To Do or like Loop or like Planner Premium directly. Oh, Margie, thank you so much for following up on the Loop component. So Loop, and this is what Loop is. And let me just let me just pull this link. So Microsoft Loop is a collaborative app. Think of Loop as what you would normally do with a to-do or a planner. With Loop, you can create a component that just adds users to I think I should have Loop somewhere under my apps. More apps. And then, but this is something you already have, so it's not an additional. Let me just post this information here. And that's Loop. Let me click Get Started, and it should already sign me in. So this is Microsoft Loop. So with Loop, I can create a task list and then automatically assign colleagues to that task. So think of it as, you know, something you would do or use to, yeah, it's super cool, trust me. Now, if you've set up your Loop workspace, again, mine didn't do that because I don't have any Loop workspace created. If you have set up a Loop workspace for a project, the planner agent can connect to that workspace and also automatically create a loop component or a loop. So you are creating a loop. You know, it's a very simple, very intuitive task management component built into Microsoft 365. And you can add someone. So the moment you add a colleague or add any user, they are immediately notified that, hey, there's a task that's been assigned to you. And then they can just click that link and they too will land in that loop and they can update any task, make any comments and things. Jason says, yeah, you can always, you know, simply ask Copilot to give you an overview of something.
So Charles, I ran your script on Loop and it found my teammates, it created the items, it showed me who is gonna assign the item to. So
Exactly.
so I ran it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, so I wanted to mention that.
Nice. Thank you so much, Inti. Thank you. All right. Sadly, we're at time. Hopefully we have enough time, you know, in the future, to do this again and then do a much more expansive exercise. But ladies and gentlemen, we're at an end, and this has been the Planner Frontier. Thank you, as always.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Charles.
Kristen. Thank you,
Great
everyone.
session. Thank you.